The American West is a motherlode of legends and stories, of friendship and courage, a romantic and exciting time to be remembered. Travel along with the Old Cowboy as he shares stories, poems, and music about the American West. Now, here is the Old Cowboy, J.C. Halsey.
Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Cowboy. Compassion. What does that word mean? The dictionary explains it as a feeling of wanting to help someone who is sick, hungry, or in trouble. Sympathetic pity and concern for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. The victim should be treated with compassion is an example. I personally believe it is to perhaps break the rules if it helps or makes someone feel better. What brought this up was an incident recently at a book event. One of Outlaw's authors drove 6 hours to attend this event. She and her husband were turned away, even though it was explained when the Old Cowboy signed up for the event that she would be a guest at my table. I believe a little compassion was in order here. Of course, the couple were extremely disappointed, as well as myself. If the Old Cowboy had been in charge, I would have thrown the procedures and the rules out the window and found a place for this author. Perhaps it would have been a table way in the back, but I couldn't in good conscience turn them away to drive that 6-hour drive back home with bad feelings stewing the whole distance. It's not good for an event's reputation, but that's just me. Most folks in today's society have very little compassion for their fellow human being. It seems that some folks in today's society enjoy kicking somebody when they're down. Those of you that know the Old Cowboy know I'm not going to let this pass without fussing about it to the ones in charge. Well, I called and I fussed with a woman running the event. And you know what? The phone conveniently went dead on 2 different occasions. I called the man that was supposed to be in charge, but he couldn't make a decision without checking with this woman running the event. The next morning when I arrived at the event, I was called into the office. I felt as if I was being called into the principal's office to be scolded. 3 women, 1 man, and 1 police officer. Well, I felt like I was in trouble. I was scolded and they told me what my transgression was and told me what I had to do to satisfy them for their satisfaction. I promised I'd be a good little boy and was released to go back to my table. I will say I did voice my feelings about compassion, but it fell on deaf ears. Therefore, the reason for my ranting. I asked if I would be invited back next year. "We'll see," was the answer, which in this Old Cowboy's way of thinking is a polite way of saying no. Why can't people say what they mean? Let me say that word one more time. Compassion. One word that carries a very large meaning. This is the Old Cowboy saying adios and happy trails.
Come on back next week to the Old Cowboys radio show with the Old Cowboy himself, J.C. Halsey.